reevaluating your relationship. You have to talk stupid.
I do reevaluate all the time.
Oh yeah. Okay. So that's an important thing to do. That's okay.
Yes, it is.
You have to ask me a question or something.
So let's talk about bringing in the Mexicans.
Oh yeah. Okay. So okay. That's awesome. Okay. All right. So now I'm talking to the camera.
Yes.
Okay. We haven't done this in a long time. Last time I did it was in the truck, and I got frustrated. I was gonna film like the whole drive, but I was just like, "Fuck you, done." You know, stupid. Okay, so people here. All right, so there's a lot of white people here, and if anybody knows me, like I don't hold white people in very high regard, because they have like this really strong sense of entitlement, and so a lot of people have that, right? It's almost like genetic. So they have a lot of lazy people. So currently I'm working for SD Ireland, and that is the largest concrete company in the state of Vermont. And they have literally been sitting there waiting for someone like me. And I think that's really cool. The plant manager, he thinks I'm best thing since sliced bread. But in Vermont, they have a lot of the same issues that Canada's having in Quebec. So they have an aging population, right? And the immigrants they're getting aren't that productive. No, they're not Mexicans, because our people are awesome. And, okay, so they suck. They suck at their job, okay? And I was able, like on my first day, to make two whole people, completely disposable, of no use. They had nothing to do. They were sweeping the floor, they were talking, whatever. But they weren't fucking working, they weren't fucking productive. This is really awkward. I don't know, the last phone wasn't that. I don't know, there's something weird about that phone. Oh, but also, you smoke a lot of weed here. Like, everybody smokes weed. So I'm a little stoned. Because I'm not at work. The plant manager wasn't even aware of the H-2B program, but every single person in Texas knows about the H-2B program. The H-2B program is the desperate person visa. You have the H-1B and the H-2B. The H-1B is the smart person visa, and the H-2B is the desperate person visa. That's the people that really, 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 really fucking want to work so they can take care of their family. Those people are fucking Mexicans. And I like them. They're my kind of folks. Because they want to do a good job all the time. And they're really fucking smart. Because when you pull from Mexico, you pull from all parts of the barrel. You pull from the people that want a better life for their children. Right? But when you pull from an isolated population, right? A state of stupid white people, because a lot of these people can't even fucking read and they don't teach their children how to read. That's funny. But at least that'll give my daughter an advantage, you know, because these people are really stupid. Well, the natives. So he didn't even know about the H-2B. He said, like, I said, like, well, you have a bunch of lazy-ass motherfuckers that don't want to do anything. You should fire them. And he said, oh, you know, but we need labor. Like, what are we supposed to do? We need people to do things. And I said, if somebody doesn't want to work, fuck them. You know, fire them, right?
Right.
Okay. You know, because if you want the job, you need to do your best to get the job. And if you don't want to do it, you know what? Maybe a fucking Mexican should come and do a better job than you. Because you're a piece of shit. Right?
Right.
Okay. And so, now I need to figure out how to do that. He said he was going to talk to the Human Resource Department because these people are really fucking stupid. They don't know anything. Well, they know a lot of neat stuff. I learn stuff every day, but like some of the stuff they don't know, it really surprises me. Especially people who are like, that's the industry. Farmers can figure it out, but the large concrete company doesn't know what a fucking government program is that can give them the best workers on the planet. Okay, that's fine. No, that's just kind of funny. Because these people are, whatever, counterintuitive. So yeah, I have like, I feel kind of like, I just thought, you know, like Moses, he's like, let my people go. I'm like, yes. Texas, come to me. You know, people of San Marcos, come this way. You know, because people live in San Marcos for a reason. People that live in San Marcos, a lot of them commute. They don't work in San Marcos. Would you say that's true? I would say that's true. Because that is fucking true. You know, yep. Because San Marcos is a fucking fantastic place to live when you're in Texas. It's not so good when you see other places. It's just a little bit liberal. But it's nice. It's just a wonderful place. They were doing a lot of that stuff. Like I participated, just completely destroying downtown for like a year. Do you remember?
Yep.
And then I got laid off because I had to go to National Guard.
Yep.
That's illegal. So.
You mean when they were ripping up all downtown?
Yeah.
Ripping up the roads?
And I didn't break a single water line. I was not. Every time a water line was broke is when I wasn't there. So I did the best I could. But yeah, so I liked it a lot better when it was San Marcos, where it was just like everything like was shitty, but it was ours, right? You kind of like felt like you belonged there, like it was home, right?
Right.
Okay, that's why people live there. Well, that's what Vermont is. It's just like San Marcos but bigger, and a few more, just a few more people. Yep. So I'm saying, so right now I have to figure out how I get good workers here, because the guy I'm working with, he has this idea that I moved to Vermont to help him, because because I knew he needed help, because these people are so worthless. So the people here know there's a problem. The plant manager talked to me, his boss talked to me, told me that from the owner down, like they're aware of the issue, that these people fucking suck. And they don't care if they're Mexican, they don't care if they're fucking Jamaican, they don't care. They just want people to work. And so I'm gonna try to find really desperate people and bring them to Vermont. I can guarantee a place to live. I can guarantee a job to anybody that wants to work. And I'm gonna try to do that. And I'm gonna work with the largest concrete company to do it. Because they listen to everything I say. Because they like me there. And that's really cool. I feel really at home here. So did I do a good job?
Yes.
Okay, so do you have something else to talk about?
No.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about making vodka?
Ooh, making vodka. Okay, so the people here are really stupid.
Again, they're really stupid.
Wood is, actually brown, a long time ago, this before I discovered the internet, Brown told me like how trees are made, and I was like, no way. Trees are made out of sugar. Everything's basically made out of sugar. Well, a lot of stuff. Sugar is everywhere. Like, that's like the fuel. Like, alright, so hydrogen bonds with every particle, because it only has one valence electron. And in the first ring, you can only have two. Once you have two, like, that's it. So I think the next one is helium, and helium doesn't bond with anything, because it has no valence electrons.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to share an electron to create a compound particle. But hydrogen bonds with everything. It doesn't even have a neutron. It's the only particle that doesn't have a neutron. Oh, it's the only element that doesn't have a neutron. Because an element is an atom, and it's made up of subatomic particles. Like, those are particles. So, like, the atom is just, like what that stuff makes up. So it's almost like a complex particle, right? But it's just an you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So the same way you make vodka and alcohol and all that stuff is the same way your body uses sugar. So amino acids are made out of hydrogen. Well, hydrogen is a common part of amino acids and proteins because you can use the hydrogen molecule to. It's kind of like little puzzle pieces. But your body does the same thing. It's called body chemistry, right? So you intake food, right? So what you're basically doing is, like, say I were to take a chunk out of myself, right? I could grab a chunk of someone else and put it there, and I'd have a new chunk, right?
Uh-huh.
But that's not really how it works. Unless you eat people. But eating people, I think, is pretty unhealthy. I think it makes people go right. It's kind of like the mad cow disease.
I think
makes
so.
People go crazy. Right. So when you're eating, all right. So the entire body is made out of protein. So when you eat a cow protein, right, you need to alter it, right, to make it a human protein, right? Because we're not fucking cows, right? But we're made of the same basic particles or the same basic elements. And if you reconfigure them, just like a genetic structure, it's all kind of the same, but it's just configured a different way. you can make people protein. You do the same basic thing with condensing gases to make alcohol. You can what you do is you just take you know, a piece of matter, and you break it up by burning it, so you make it like really small, right? So you break it up into like smaller particles. Like that's what happens when something turns into a gas, right? And what is smoke?
Gas.
It's a gas. Okay, so you've got like this big thing, you break it up, and you have all these little things, right? What happens when you bring them together and you cool them down? You create a really dense liquid, right? Right? Okay. And alcohol, people used to use it in radiators. It was the first coolant. Oh, well, not coolant, but or I guess it's called a coolant. It was the first antifreeze because it has a really low like freezing point. It's kind of like methane, you know, like methane is just like a liquid, and then like once it gets hot enough, it like turns it, or I don't know. But like there's oceans on what is it? It's the one that sounds like a butt. Uranus. I think it's on Uranus. Is lakes of methane. They were thinking about sending a boat, like a shipboat. It was just gonna float around and like take pictures on a sea of methane. Could you imagine? Like I'd like to see the video. It'd just be like, or I don't know if there would be waves, but I think they have like really big. It doesn't matter. But I think they have like really big storms. Like there's parts. We're getting into okay, so the same basic thing. So when you condense it, you create a liquid. So when you burn wood, you create ethanol alcohol. When you, I think, vodka is made from potatoes, correct? I think
so,
you can make with potatoes and rice, right? But I know rice is also you make the sake. It's all the same basic thing. So all the alcohol, right? It all ends up the same way, right? It's all basically moonshine. You actually have to add distilled water to you know, make it like edible or like something you can consume, right? So it's a really simple process. You just take something, you set it on fire, you burn it, you create a gas, you condense that gas, you collect it, and it's an open system. It's not a closed system, so it can't blow up. You know, it's fine. It's perfectly. You can do it in your home. Yeah, that's what meth heads do. Like, but they blow up sometimes because they're a little nutty. But you know, it's really great. And during the wintertime, you can make like a lot of fucking gas because it's all about how. All right, so you want to burn the matter as quickly as possible, right? And you want to condense it as fast as possible, right? So you can make as much product as possible. Around here, it gets like, I think like some of their maxes are like -40. That's a good fucking time to make gas. You could actually make like a 20-foot pipe and it would just be solid liquid. And the pressure from the heat would be just pushing it right into a fucking drum. And you've got a shitload of Patrick and Brown's vodka. Or like whatever you said. Because if my buddy does not move here, you know, the population is only 600,000. I usually don't try to bring this up, but people like me, I think you might know the statistic better than me, but I know it's a really high number. It's like 1 out of 100,000 people, or is it higher? No, but that was only people for at 132, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's
mine
higher.
would be a lot higher.
Yeah.
You know, so I've only met one person like Brown in my entire life, and I get a little emotional about it because like I need someone to talk to. Like, usually when I talk to people, it's almost like charity. You know, like, they annoy me, and I try to communicate things to them so they can become a person that doesn't annoy me. So, like, I have to, like, make friends. But, like, Brown, like, he was already, you know, someone I wanted to interact with. Because basically when I meet people, I'm just like, God damn it. I gotta fucking explain shit. You know, I don't want to do that. You know, and with him, he actually challenges me, and it's really nice. I really like. If Brown were a woman, I'd marry him in a second. I'd fuck the shit out of that guy. But you know what? I'm not gay, sadly. So I would like him to come and make vodka with me. We can make a lot of money. And also, using the same process, you can create your own utilities. You could run a generator off ethanol alcohol fuel if you distill it with 50% gasoline. You just add like a little bit of gas, and you're good. You just need to put a small attachment on the spark plugs. So anything that uses gasoline can use ethanol alcohol. Gasoline, fuel. What you do is you burn the wood, you condense the gas, you create ethanol alcohol, but you can't use ethanol alcohol because that shit's like 180 proof, or like, it's like super, like, this shit will fucking This is the most potent shit in the world. It's like fucking crazy. So what you do is you add for every gallon of fuel you want to make, you add a pound of sugar. For every gallon or 2 gallons of fuel you want to make, you add a quarter ounce of the fermentation's yeast, and that's it, right? Oh, and water, because you want to be at this. You don't want like to make like super fuel. You want to make, so you have to use a little bit of water, so you're at the right. I think you add a little bit of water, and then you distill it again. So it means what that does is it makes a mash, makes like a product you can just like put in a pot, and then you can. Well, you don't use, I don't know, but you just use the same process. You burn it, right? You cook it. It's like the same way you make acetylene, propane, all that kind of stuff. What you're doing is you're just like cooking coal. What you're doing is you're just breaking it down. You're putting it back together. Yeah, it's really simple, and it's really, really good to do in the winter. And I don't ever want to leave my home. I don't want to go outside at all. I want to stay at my house, work all the time, and make a lot of shit, and hopefully do it with my friend Brown, who I think would really benefit here. And also his wife has like the I don't know, the thing where the stock market thing, what those people have. You know, she's got that shit, and he's got 3 master's degrees. Like, there's no way it can work for them up here. But I want my buddy, because people be a little dumb here. And I think maybe if someone sees this video on YouTube, they might not like me anymore. But I really like the people here. Like, they're really friendly. It's just some of them make me mad because they're lazy and they're stupid.
So your goal is to bring Brown and your former coworkers to a better place.
Or equivalents.
Yeah.
So Brown, there is no equivalent. But with guys like Victor, guys that I know, probably like guys. Actually, anybody that's a good worker in Texas could make a lot of money here. Like, the shit they do is so fucking simple because they're so fucking stupid. Everything is just stupid proof. They really work with some of the dumbest people in the world. Like, these are uneducated white people. These people are worthless. I'm sorry. But y'all are pretty bad. The people that move here just make a lot of money, and they don't. Nobody owns them. Like, a lot of people are self-employed. There's a lot. Like, you've seen them all over the fucking place. Almost every other house you pass, right, is like a business house, right?
Yes.
It's fucking amazing. And there's like no stores.
It's pretty cool. Lots of family farms.
Yeah, and I like animals too. So so how long is that? So how long is the video? I mean, we can keep on talking, but I think we should break it up into videos.
That sounds good.
So how long? Okay.